Hey, what's up, good people? Good people. Listen, we got to talk. We got to talk today. Today, we got to talk. All right. So, let me know if you guys could hear me. I want to talk about this market. I'm going to tell you guys what I am doing. And I want you guys to know that I wasn't going to go live today, but because of what's happening in this market right now, because of this sell-off, I want you guys to be in an opportunity where you could really just look at what's going on and make a conscious decision. So that's why I'm going live right now, right? All right, good people, that's it. That's it. Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. So I want you guys to follow me down this path as things are selling off. Yes, as things are selling off, I'll come to you. I'm not ignoring you guys. Love you guys, okay? So I want you guys to be aware of what's going on right now. And I'm going to be building some windows as we talk. I'm going to be building things out, right? As we talk. That's right. I come here to feed the family. I come here to feed the family. Hit that like button, okay? So let's get right into it, okay? Let me open up something else. I'm going to just show you guys what's going on and why you should be paying close attention to what's going on. We got cousin Kathy in. Orange man. Yeah, I know what that means. All right, y'all. We gonna be nice. Yeah, it's tariff wars. Okay, so let's just talk about this now. We had PCE that came in, and it's showing that inflation is sticky and high. Inflation is sticking around and it's high. So that was one of the things that came out today that caused this market to go down. I'm talking and I'm setting up this window so we can go right into it, right? So that's one of the things that is happening. PCE came in hot, right? And then we had consumer sentiment out of Michigan that said that the consumer is bearish, okay? So without showing you guys that the consumer is bearish, right? And then we had a PCE that is showing inflation is sticky, okay? So we had that. I got some notes right here. All right, good people, please. This is one of the most important videos I'm going to put out this year. So please listen. I've been telling people since 2023 that every dime that you put in, every time I traveled, and I said this often here, and I know everybody doesn't hear it, everything. So here's what I want you to know, all right? That is that on situations like this, when the market is selling off, since 2023, I've been looking you guys in the eye and I've been saying, for every dollar that you put into your accounts, your brokers, that I need you to save 75% and only invest 25% of that. Leave me a coffee cup if you've heard that once, twice, or whatever, right? And I know there's a lot of new people here that haven't seen that. Why was I saying that? Because in times like this is the time that you need to have some dry powder, okay? So let's see some coffee cups if you've heard me say that, please. In times like this, it's important to have some dry powder. And on days like today, between this week and days like today, I've exhausted a third of my dry powder, meaning the money that I had sitting, I have exhausted over a third of that over this week. Dry powder. That's right. Coffee cups. Kathy has heard me say it. Newman has heard me say it. AK Harlem has heard me say it. Now, here's why. There's the coffee cups. I agree. I appreciate you guys. This is when you want to absolutely, there's all the coffee cups. This is when you want to absolutely listen to someone that's been doing this a long time. Now, Warren Buffett said, we buy fear and sell greed. And right now, the hardest thing it is to do is to buy. But just think about this. The people that bought at the top, you're getting hammered. The people that's just tech heavy, you're getting hammered. The people that are just an insane PE stock that don't have, they're just, up because they're looking at forward earnings. They're getting hammered. Now, I'm not saying sell it. I have some of those too. Don't get me wrong. I got some quantum computing stock that I bought today. Now, here's what I want to tell you. Some of those are going to bottom out, and I'm going to play this early, and I want to make a point on this. I need everyone to listen to this exchange, because the facts that came out on this exchange is absolutely, now I may fast forward or rewind and get back to the point, but please, everybody, please listen to this exchange. Okay, here we go.
July lows of 2022. I'm not making light of this decline. This could turn into multi-day day. It's a scary time. I get it. Okay. But let's also be perfectly honest. This market downturn, which right now, so far, is relatively normal.
8%.
Happens. I've been doing this 30 years.
Right. You get
almost every year this happens.
Yep.
So I'm not being sanguine about it, but it's getting more attention than it would normally get on national news channels. I heard something the other day where they were saying retirees are being wiped out. That literally was a national news show, non-financial media, said retirees are being, quote, wiped out because the market was down 4% over a month. That's ridiculous.
100%.
Okay. In 2022, the S&P 500 fell 18%. Okay. That was 2.5 years ago. The market fell during the summer. We lost 18% 2.5 years ago. The market is up 54% since the lows, July lows of 2022. I'm not making light of this decline. This could turn into multi-year decline. But what I'm saying, I think, Sarat, is what Michael is getting at, which is this market downturn, while scary and annoying, we want everyone to make money, not lose it, is not the most unhealthy or abnormal thing that's ever happened. I want to be very direct about that.
And I would say 100%, right? Because you actually want to invest. Investing means the market doesn't go straight up in one line, right? And to Michael's point of it's time in the market, and you look for opportunities and you look for good companies that are going to grow over a period of time. And you got to get some of the air out of some of the ones that were overvalued. But you got to be diversified, and you got to stick within your allocation. And I think this is a reminder to a lot of people who were too concentrated in one area or just were 100% equities and didn't have the risk for it.
All right, you guys heard that, right? And I agree with that. You heard that. It literally, you heard those numbers of how far the market usually goes back up after times like this. That's why I played that. So what I'm going to show you guys is this. We see that the NASDAQ is down 500 points. 500 points, good people. And at some time, you got to just buy. At some times, you got to just buy. Does it mean deploy all your capital? No, but you got to be strategic. Let's go to the Qs, which is the NASDAQ, right? And then let's go to the weekly. Here we go. Let's go to the weekly. I'm just building this in front of you guys because I want you guys to see 1 week. I wanted you guys to be able to make some decisions while the market is open. All right. And I know you're going to say, Larry, you keep coming back to this. You keep coming back to this. This is what I want you guys to do. I want you to be wealthy, not just rich. Look at this. Okay. So you guys remember the bear market of 2022. This is what the gentleman was just talking about, good people. So in 2022, this is the 200-day moving average. In 2022, this is the bear market that he was talking about. Even if you bought at the 200-day moving average, right, it still went down like 28%, right? But here it went down, look at that, 24%, and then it retraced back up to the 200-day moving average, right? But what you got to realize is if you just bought and hold, right? So if you just bought and hold, even if you bought at the you would have still been up 70% today. And this is the QQQ, good people. This is all the tech you need, all in one ETF, right? And so this is what I want to show you guys, right? And so if you go to the S&P 500, all right, if you go to the SPY and let's go out 5 years, right? 2022, It's right here. So I'm sorry, right here, right? 2022, we had that bear market in 2022. Remember, here's the bottom of the bear market. Even if you bought at the top and you just held, for those of you that have the 401ks, you still would be up. But the ones that start dollar cost averaging after a 10% run, see here, those are the ones that are doing the best, if better than you, if you ask me, because you are up even more. Look at that. It is a great amount. And that's what I wanted to tell you guys. I had a few notes here. I wasn't going to I wasn't going to go live, but I just wanted to show you guys that, right? We had PCE on top of tariff wars, on top of this Michigan report that says the consumer is scared, and money, they're going to spend less money, which means that GDP is going to be less. And the fact is that like in 2022, this could go on for a year. And let's just be honest with you. I'm just going to tell you guys. But when you look at, this is what I wanted to show you, okay? And this is why someone asked, why do you diversify into the different ones? So let me show you this. Let's go back here, right? And let's just do the SPY. I want you to see this, right? I want you to see this, the SPY, okay? So we got the SPY right here. If we would have bought the last time this touched the 200-day moving average, right? So let's go right here to the line until the top of this, you would be up 35% on the SPY, right? But then if we go to Vanguard, VUG, right? This is why I split my ETFs up. VUG, if you go to the Vanguard and you go right here, same deal, right? And you go here and you go to here, that's 45%. What was the other one? I forgot just that quick. Okay. So, but then if you go here, right? What day is this? This was 2022. All right. So let's just go from where the 200-day moving average started. Let's say May 6th, March of 2023. All right. And this is VUG, which is growth. You would have been up 70%. Okay. That's 70%. Now let's go back to the SPY and go to that same point. You would have been up 46%, okay? 47%. So that's why I diversify, because VUG outperforms in certain areas, okay? And so that's why I don't just have VOO, VOO. I don't just have VTI, all right? As a matter of fact, I rolled all of my VOO, okay? And so that's why I've been into VUG, because it's outperformed, right? I still have VTI, okay? I have QQQ. And don't get it twisted when you think that ETFs are slow and all of that. This is the time to buy them when they're down by more than 10%, good people. That's what I want to show you. You don't even have to know how to chart. Just go here and just go to QQQ and you'll see. Matter of fact, just go to the NASDAQ. It's the same thing. When you go to the NASDAQ, and you will see that it's down by more than 10%. Let's go to the top. Let's go to the local top. You can clearly see that it has dropped by 14%. Look at that. And so what are you saying, Larry? At sometimes you just got to buy and hold. In 2022, it took a year, 14, 16 months or whatever it took. It was a slow bleed down. But all you had to do was hold. And not just hold, add to. So here's what I want you guys to do. Every time you get paid, like I've been saying, put money in your broker account. Okay? Now, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. This is for entertainment purposes only. But what Larry does is I hold money in my broker accounts 4 days like this, 4 seasons, weeks like this. because you can't pull that money over now and expect to trade with it instantly. You got to have days and times for it to clear. So that's why I've been telling you, this is how the big boys move. While the market is selling off. Larry, do you know when the bottom is and how long this is going to be? No, I don't know. But all I know is every time this happened, I always wished I had more money. That's what I always wished I had more money. And I'm telling you that all of that dry powder, all of the cash I had sitting in my broker account, I deployed more than 40% of it now that I think of it. And so I want you guys to think about that. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. Here's one of the dangers of it. If these tariff wars continue to be frontline, we are teetering on a recession. And if a recession hits, things will trade sideways for a long time. Now, here's the money plays that I mentioned in my stock crypto club. And I understand it. People just want to make hot money, quick money. Listen, that's easy. This is when it takes guts. This is the retirement money, okay? This is the money that you're going to retire on and not the options, because most of you are going to give it all back by the end of the year. And so I'm going to ask you this with crypto, right? Look at this. Everybody was talking about XRP to the moon, $100, $100, $100. Look at it now. Now, I'm about to ask you a question. If you were buying XRP at $3, are you buying it at $2.17? And if your answer is no, then you got it backwards. Larry, are you saying buy XRP? I'm saying the things that you were buying at the high, if you weren't buying them if you're not buying them now on the sell-off, something is wrong. You are doing it backwards. I'm telling you guys the truth because I love you guys. When you see the Dow down by, let's forget the Dow. When you see the SPY down by 107 points, right? And the NASDAQ down by 460 points, that's no big deal. But when you see the SPY in the last month has just been trending down, let me go out to 6 months so you can see it. When you see the SPY has come down and has entered into correction territory because it hit 10% down. Now what's happening? We're not fully 10% down now. We're 9% down. When I just played you that back and forth, it was just 8. Now it's 9. The truth be told, it's going to go back down to negative 10%. This is the SPY, the S&P 500, or ticker symbol VOO, or however you want. You can get the SPY a whole bunch of different ways. But what I'm telling you is that I'm looking you in the eye, and if the market falls apart, you know that Larry lost a lot of money. But I'm man enough to tell you at the bottom, I'm buying. And so I want you to understand what you need to be doing, okay? You need to be positioning yourself and looking at your long-term portfolios. Look at the PE of all of the stock you have. Like I've been saying for the last month, this is the time for rebalancing, okay? So that's why I wanted to come on live to give you guys permission or time to go in and see what's going on. All right, good people? I love you guys. I have some daily buys sent. Trump wants to, we are a lower army, okay, XRP army. I have same day buys set. 2 years, I haven't opened a Robinhood since January. Okay, you know what? You'll win in the end. April showers bring May flowers. Love it. Good time to buy XRP. If you were buying it higher, I don't know why you're not buying it now. I'm just being honest with you. Does this mean that the altcoin season no time soon? We gotta look. This market, I don't care what nobody say, this market is different than any. We have so much institutional money. I gotta make a whole nother video on crypto. Buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game. All right. April 2nd, markets are going to pump. Listen, he's got a point, maybe. We don't know. But when April 2nd comes, and if Larry's not saying it, so don't quote me, if all of this bad news is priced in. I spent over 25K today. If all of this bad news is priced in, then we could be at the bottom. Now, I believe that the S&P is down by 9%. I think it's going to revisit the 10%. But here's what Larry does. When the market is down by 10%, I buy S&P 500. Okay, correction territory. QQQ, 15%, I'm buying. And then let's go back to the S&P. If the S&P is down negative 10%, which is correction, I buy. And then if it goes down negative 15%, I buy more. Now, I bought my way down and I bought in between this time. And then I wait. I just simply wait. Why? Then I see if it's going to go down negative 20%. But while I'm waiting, sometimes if it's like 2022, while the market is trading sideways, what am I doing? I'm busting my butt, putting more dry powder in. Boom, 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 boom. Let's say it dropped 10. I bought, then it dropped negative 15. I bought some more. Now I'm waiting. I'm not at that point. I'm waiting and I'm just adding dry powder to the cannons. And then if it goes negative 20%, I let the cannons go. That's what I do, all in, okay? And so that's what I wanted to come on and tell you guys everything that's going on and not just tell you bye, bye, bye. All right, I think I covered everything. I showed that. I talked about that. Hotter than it. Yep, I talked about everything, good people. Look at that. I talked about it all. Listen, and all thy getting, get an understanding. And if you're following me over any hot option play, this is one of the most important videos I've made. Please share this with your friends and family and tell them to look at the market. Just think about this in closing. If you bought everything at the top and you only tech heavy and you're only in a high PE or expensive stock, you're getting beat up the worst. But for somebody that has cash and dry powder and they're just getting in the market, they have just hit jackpot. And I'll say this, I know I keep saying this is it. I want you guys to look. Just look at this. Look at this 5 years ago. Let's go out max. This is the S&P. There again, this is COVID. We can look at it. This is COVID. From the bottom of COVID until now, the market is up 124%. This is not one stock. This is the entire index. Then if you go back to 2022, then you will see another dip in 2022. This is 2020, COVID, right? Then here's another dip right here. 2022, you guys remember that? That was the bear market. Then if we go back to what? Bam, what is that dip? Without even looking, we know that was the recession. So I was buying back here. I was buying here, boom, and I bought here. And then before that, it was the 90s, okay? And so I'm showing you guys that anytime you would have bought in that dip, you would have been up. Anytime you would have bought in the dip, it would have been up. Now, if I had been smart enough in 2008 to hold some, now I had some individual stock, but I wish I had been just buying the overall stock market and holding from there, I'd be up. Now, don't cry for me, Argentina. I made a killing on some, but look at that, 562% on an entire index. That's VOO. That's the SPY. All right. So there is money to be made, but I want you to be smart and don't look to get rich. Look to get wealthy. Getting wealthy is going to take some time. That's all I wanted to talk about, good people. I love you, and all thy getting, get an understanding, and just look at the pages. That's quiet for the last week. That's just telling you guys to buy, buy, buy. They're with NSYNC on tour telling you to buy, 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 but they don't give you a strategy. There's a lot of pages out here that's giving you guys strategies for long-term wealth. And what happens is a lot of them, a lot of you guys will tap out of the market you don't want to see. I'm telling you, if there was ever a time you should be studying, it's now. If there was ever a time you should be studying, it's now. But this is when most people pull back from studying. They don't want to look, and that's fine if you don't want to look at your portfolio. I have some portfolios I don't want to look at. I get it. But it is not a time to stop studying, good people. Now's the time that you should be studying and then learning how to grow your money. That's what I'm going to tell you. All of the big boys are looking at their portfolios and they're searching for information. And information leads to wealth. You don't need more money because all you're going to do is blow it. You need more information. Well, we got it here at Stock Up You. Join it today. I still kept the price to last year. I didn't go up yet, right? And then stocks and crypto, okay? I just want to mention that at the end. It's going to be the top link below. And even if you don't do that, there's a ton of free stuff on YouTube and anywhere else. Be on the search for knowledge because the next time something like this happens, you will be locked and loaded. Myself and a lot of my followers had dry powder on the side, and we are buying while other people are selling. We are firemen and firewomen. We are running towards the burning building to catch the falling baby while everybody else is running. This is true what Warren Buffett said. Buy fear, sell greed. When others are greedy, be fearful, right? And be greedy when others are fearful. That's what I'm going to tell you. We love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.